It was shortly after midnight when Emma and Lucas Reynolds finally turned off the lights in their downtown apartment. The city's hum filtered through the thin walls, a gentle reminder that life outside never truly slept. Emma adjusted the blanket over their sleeping cat, while Lucas set his alarm for the early morning shift at the factory. They hadn't noticed anything unusual until last week, when a quiet, white van began appearing across the street each night, perfectly still. Lights off, engine running. At first, they dismissed it as a coincidence, maybe a delivery truck left idling, a late-night worker resting before their next route. But by the third night, a pattern became clear. 2 a.m., sharp. The van would appear in the same spot, every single night. Its windows were tinted so dark they couldn't see inside. The license plate was unreadable, obscured in the shadows. No driver ever emerged. No one approached. It simply waited. Emma's stomach churned whenever she saw it. She began checking the blinds repeatedly, pulling curtains tighter, watching for movement that never came. Lucas tried to reassure her. "It's probably nothing," he said. But his voice lacked conviction. There was an undeniable heaviness in the air whenever the van appeared, as if it were aware of them, observing, calculating. On the fourth night, they called the police. Officers arrived promptly, their flashlights slicing through the darkness. They circled the street, examined the van, and checked the registration. There was nothing. No record of the vehicle existed in any database. Not stolen, not registered, not reported. The officers shrugged uneasily. "Sometimes trucks just park here overnight," one suggested. But both Emma and Lucas felt a chill as they watched the patrol car drive away. The van remained. Night after night, the same scenario unfolded. 2 a.m., the van across the street. Always the same distance from their building, always silent, and every morning it vanished without a trace. Sleep became uneasy. Shadows in the apartment seemed longer, more sinister. Every creak of the floor, every gust of wind against the window felt amplified, like warnings in an unseen language. Emma considered moving, but Lucas argued that running away would only give it power. They had to understand it. Weeks passed. The couple began documenting everything, photographs, timestamps, even sketches of the van from memory. They compared notes, trying to find a pattern, a license plate, a driver's mannerisms, anything. But there was nothing. Only the haunting presence of a vehicle that waited, always waiting, but never acted. Then one morning, they woke to something new. No van, nothing across the street. The sun was rising, casting pale orange light on the empty asphalt. They felt a brief sense of relief, almost disbelief. Maybe it had finally gone. Maybe it had been a dream, a shared hallucination of exhaustion and anxiety. But on their doorstep, a plain brown package waited. No return address, no markings beyond the couple's names scrawled in neat, precise handwriting. Their hearts raced as they brought it inside, opening it with trembling hands. Inside, dozens of photographs. Every single one showed them in their bedroom, in their living room, asleep. Photos of intimate moments, every detail captured through the window, unaware they were being watched. The police were called again. Officers dusted for fingerprints, examined the package, and scanned the surrounding area for any signs of forced entry or surveillance. Nothing. No prints. No tire tracks beyond the usual street marks. It was as if the van had never existed, yet the photographs proved otherwise. Each image was meticulously framed, every angle perfect. Someone had been observing them for weeks, studying their routines, their habits, every private moment of their life. Neighbors were questioned. Some had seen a white van occasionally, but assumed it belonged to a delivery service or a visiting relative. Others had noticed nothing at all. CCTV from nearby businesses revealed nothing. The streets appeared empty, no headlights, no vehicle pulling away. The couple's apartment building security cameras recorded nothing unusual at night. The van had become a ghost in plain sight. As the days unfolded, the couple's anxiety grew. They installed new locks, motion sensors, even blackout curtains. But every time the wind rattled the window, every shadow moved slightly differently. Their minds imagined the van returning. The photographs, once evidence, became a constant reminder. They had been watched, and whoever had done it was precise, patient, and unseen. Detectives theorized about the van, an unregistered vehicle used by a stalker, someone with intimate knowledge of the city's traffic routes and blind spots, or something more calculated, almost ritualistic. Social media searches and tip lines yielded nothing. No similar cases were reported. It was as if the van existed only for them, a sinister presence that had silently observed their lives, recording every private moment. Months later, the couple moved to a new apartment, hoping to escape the anxiety and fear. Yet the unease lingered. Shadows in darkened streets, the faint reflection of a white surface in their peripheral vision. They would start, expecting to see the van. Every time the doorbell rang late at night, their hearts leapt. The past weeks had permanently altered their sense of security. To this day, residents of their former street report seeing a white van idling after midnight. No one knows who drives it or why it appears. The police have no explanation. For Emma and Lucas, the lesson is clear. Some dangers are silent, patient, and invisible. They wait, not to strike immediately, but to make themselves known at the perfect moment, when you least expect it. The van that waits is not just a vehicle. It is a reminder. Unseen observers are always closer than you think. Sometimes the person, or the thing, watching you doesn't move, doesn't speak, and doesn't reveal itself until it wants to. And when it finally does, the moment is irreversible.